welcome to all of our guests and our fight fans watching at home. First off, we want to give a big thanks to the Florida Athletic Commission for sanctioning this event. And this event, we're going to have it right here. This is your KC52 Face-Offs, powered by DeLorean. Now, before we get started on these face-offs, it's two important people that I have to bring out here, and they're super influential to what goes on in karate combat. Now, first off, I have to start with this guy. Amazing guy, we all love him. He's very viral. He's done amazing things the last year, 2024. And he's going to be doing some amazing things in 2025. Now, you guys all know him, maybe as Dana Brown, maybe as other things, but we know him here as our president. President Awesome, let's make some noise. President Awesome, you had an amazing 2024, a bunch of viral moments, a bunch of crazy knockouts. How do you top yourself going into 2025, and what's your vision?
Well, I'll tell you this, there's a method to the madness, and in 2024, the mission was to take a world tour and sign the greatest strikers on the planet. In 2025, it's time to show their stories, show who these guys are. We went around the world looking for the greatest fighters. I truly feel we have the greatest striking roster in the world, and we're gonna show it in 2025.
I agree. Let's make some noise of that, all right? I agree as well, right? 2024 was amazing, and I think you're gonna do a great job. Now, about this main event, we love to hear your sentiment on the main event, so before I let you go, I gotta hear it. How do you feel about the main event?
The main event is truly a super fight right now. You know, Edgars Skrivers feels he's the uncrowned champion. He was formerly the pound-for-pound #1 fighter on the roster, and he's taking on Shahzaib Rind. Now, Shahzaib is a national hero across Asia and the Middle East. This guy's a huge name, and he's making a name now even in the States. So the guy's just this viral sensation. Can he back up the hype against a formerly pound-for-pound #1?
Well, I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to watch Karate Combat tomorrow. Thank you. This is your President Awesome. Let's make some noise. Now, last but certainly not least, this man is amazing. This is our Karate Combat chairman and UFC Hall of Famer, Boss Ruin. Let's make some noise for Boss Ruin, guys. All right, Boss, I love hearing what you have to say. I've been watching you commentate for years. Amazing voice to the MMA world. Now, I have to hear, what fight are you looking forward to tomorrow night?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's the main event and co-main event. Of course, I'm looking forward to that. But all these guys who are on the undercard, they want to be on the main card. And the main card, they want to be the title fight. So everybody's going to fight their hearts out. It's all going to be a great show. As always, every time, and I say this every time, we deliver, and then every time we say, this one is going to be better than the last one, and every time it is. So let's see what happens.
I agree. I was going to ask you that question, but I already knew your answer, so there was no point in asking you that. But I got to ask you one more thing before I let you go. Now, Robelis Despaigne had an amazing record-breaking knockout last time. Now, that was only a month ago. Yeah. He's here again, and he's ready to fight again. How do you feel about fighters fighting this frequently after great knockouts like that?
Well, he knocked that guy out so that, you know, he didn't even break a sweat. I mean, 4 seconds. This guy had 7 wins, all under 18 seconds. Think about that, 7 all under 18 seconds. But now he's facing a guy, tough guy from Brazil, who also has an incredible record, great knockout specialist. Oh, I don't know, man. It's let's see what he can do when he goes to the later rounds, Robelis. Can he go to the later rounds, or is he going to keep it under the 18 seconds? We're going to find out.
Well, like I said, we love hearing what you have to say, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything you do for Karate Combat. Oos. And make some noise for Boss Ruin. Let's go. All right, now listen. How to watch KC52. Now, this event is free to watch and will be broadcast around the world. You can watch us live tomorrow, January 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will be worldwide at karate.com, UFC Fight Pass, Karate on YouTube, Karate Combat on YouTube, Facebook Watch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So make sure you check out the show. Now, we have 15 exciting fights for tomorrow. That's right, 15 bangers. Let's make some noise real quick for those 15 bangers. And listen, before I waste any more time, let's get into it. So, starting off, this has become a fan favorite, Pit Submission Series. This has become one thing that we love to see in the beginning, and it sets off the tone of these cards. So, starting off the Pit Submission Series, fighting out of the blue corner, we have Ansar Kamzayev. Now, Ansar will be fighting at a weight. He's weighed in at 170 pounds. Now, this fight will be taking place in the welterweight division. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Daniel Saffler. Now, Daniel Saffler's fighting out of Brazil and is weighed in at 168.5 pounds. Now, let's get a face-off from these fighters. It's a lot of intensity here. This bout will set off the card. So this will set the tempo. These guys right here will beat it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, moving on. The next fight in the Pit Submission Series. We have fighting out of the blue corner, Samuel Nagai. Let's make some noise for Samuel. Now Samuel will be fighting out of Brazil, and he is weighed in at 154.5 pounds. Now, Samuel's opponent is Fabricio Andre. Make some noise. Now, Andre is fighting out of Brazil and is weighed in at 155 pounds. Let's get a face-off from these fighters. All right. This is your second bout in the Pit Submission Series. Now, to top off the end of the Pit Submission Series, we have a special matchup for you. These two are very, very accoladed men. They have done a lot for the sport. Now, first, out of the blue corner, wrestling world champion and UFC Fight Pass champion, Richie Lewis. Make some noise. Now Richie Lewis will be fighting out of USA and is weighed in at 170.4 pounds. Now as accoladed as Richie is, so is his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Lance Palmer. Now Lance is a two-time PFL world champ and is fighting out of the USA. He is weighed in at 167.4 pounds. Let's get a face-off. Now, these two men will be ending off your Pit Submission Series, and I promise you, they will not disappoint. Like I said, this is championship stuff, and this is a championship matchup. Let's make some noise for your Pit Submission main event. All right, now that we're done with the Pit Submission, you guys know what time it is. All of my karate fans out there, it's time to get into the prelims of your KC52 card. Now, starting off the prelims, we have a welterweight bout, and fighting out of the blue corner, starting off the card. Oh, we have a heavyweight bout, I apologize. Starting out of the blue corner, Enrique Valdez. Now, this is some big boys here. We're fighting out of heavyweights, and Enrique is weighing in at 205.2 pounds. Yes, sir. Now, moving on to his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Robelis Castaneda. Now, Robelis will be fighting out of Cuba and is weighed in at 205.6 pounds. Now, this is the start of your preliminary matchups for the Karate Combat card, and these are some big boys, so expect the ring to be stress test.
Facing forward, fighting stance.
Right. This is the start of your prelims. Enrique Valdez versus Robelis Castaneda. Now, our next fight will be at a catch weight of 140 pounds and fighting out of the blue corner, Jacob Wayman. Jacob will be fighting out of the USA and has weighed in at 138 pounds. Now his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Harry Gomez. Harry Gomez is fighting out of Ecuador and is weighed in at 137.2 pounds. Like I said, this fight is a catch weight of 140 pounds. Let's get a face-off of our fighters.
Right here, guys. Good stuff, guys.
Looking at the
Facing forward right
stance
here
and
for
the
the
faces
camera.
on these guys, I think they will not disappoint tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Good stuff, man. Excellent.
Right. Now, moving on to the next fight. This fight will be at lightweight division, and fighting out of the blue corner, Alexander Krutsky. Make some noise, let's go. Alexander will be fighting out of Ukraine and is weighed in at 150.2 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Tim Ha. Now, Tim Ha is fighting out of Czechoslovakia and is weighed in at 150.6 pounds. Let's get a face-off from these fighters.
Go, guys, right here. Facing forward. Awesome, guys.
Wow, almost got attacked by a drone there. All right, listen. Before, yeah, almost got a little bit of, almost shaved a little off the top there. All right, listen. Before I get into this next matchup, I want to preface this a little bit. Now, this matchup is absolutely insane. Karate Combat has become the home of closure for a lot of debacles, you could say, right? During a fight at KC47, something insane happened that led to the president having to do some actions that, you know, today we're not gonna talk too much about. But this led to this man that I'm about to announce wanting to get his redemption against his opponent who fought his teammate. This is insane. I know it sounds crazy, but listen. Fighting out of the blue corner, looking for redemption, Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell is fighting out, Donovan Manuel, I apologize, is fighting out of the USA and is weighed in at 165.6 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Luis Melendez. Luis Melendez is fighting out of Puerto Rico and is weighed in at 165.8 pounds. Now, if you look at the shirt that Luis has on, it does kind of explain what happened. But this is one thing that can only be settled in one place, and that place is the pit. This fight will be very, all right guys, let's save it for tomorrow. This fight will be very energetic. This is one you don't want to miss, I promise you. I don't even think we'll get a good face-off here, guys, because the intensity is very high here.
Yo, fight God. That man's about it. That man right here is about it. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Like I said, that matchup will definitely be one to see. Now, before we move on, we definitely want to give a shout out to our sponsor, DeLorean. The DeLorean DMC token presale is now live on republic.com/DeLorean. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the future. Go to republic.com right now. #WinDeLorean. Now, as we move on, the next fight will be out of the bantamweight division, and fighting out of the blue corner, we have Ignacio Cabrunch. Ignacio is fighting out of Argentina and is weighed in at 133.2 pounds. Now, fighting out of the red corner, I hope his opponent doesn't get mad at me if I mess up this last name, but Enver Boynazarov. Enver is fighting out of Uzbekistan and is weighed in at 137 pounds. Let's get a face-off from our fighters.
Facing forward, guys. Good stuff. Thank you very much.
All right, moving on. The next fight will be at a catch weight of 170 pounds. And this one will not disappoint. Fighting out of the blue corner, Luan Santiago. Luan is fighting out of Brazil and is weighed in at 170 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Efren Escudero. Efren Escudero was fighting out of Mexico and is weighed in at 169.4 pounds. Now, these two guys are both veterans and expect to see a long, drawn-out brawl with two guys who are known to get down and dirty. All right, let's make some noise for these fighters. Now, this is the last card on our prelims, but definitely not the least. This is the card, this is the fight that ends the prelims, but starts up for the main card. So, we had to bring a good one. Fighting out of the blue corner, Elad Suman. Elad is fighting out of Ghana and is weighed in at 167.8 pounds. And fighting out of the red corner, we all know him, we all love him. Fear the mullet, Brandon Jenkins. Brandon Jenkins is fighting out of USA and is weighed in at 169.8 pounds. Let's get a face-off from these guys. Like I said, this will be the last fight of the prelims. This will set the tone for the main card. And I promise you, we couldn't have found two better guys to do it. Let's make some noise for your prelim fighters.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Now, before we hop into our KC52 main card brought to you by DeLorean, I have to bring out somebody special. Somebody that we all know and one of my favorite analysts ever. My man, Dean Thomas. All right, now that we got Dean here, you know what time it is. It's time to get into this main card. And I told you, this KC52 main card is brought to you by DeLorean, and I promise you, these guys are throwing punches like they come from the future. Now, starting off the main event, starting off the main card, fighting out of the blue corner, at a catch weight of 140, Tyson Nam. Now, Tyson Nam is fighting out of USA and has weighed in at 139.8 pounds. All right, and his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, somebody you all know. We used to call him the couch potato. I don't think that name serves any purpose anymore. This man has shown improved, and he's done his thing. Fighting out of the red corner, Laxby Montalvan. Laxby was fighting out of the USA and is weighed in at 138 pounds. Let's get a face-off from these fighters. Now, Laxby has earned his way to the main card and is here to show and prove. He will be setting the tone for the main card with the first fight, so this one will be a good one. Nam is coming in to look to end his undefeated streak. This will be one to see. Now, moving on to the next fight in our main card. Fighting out of the blue corner, Lucas Martins. Now, Lucas Martins is fighting out of Brazil and has weighed in at 172.8 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Edgars Skrivers. Edgars is fighting out of Russia and is weighed in at 174 pounds. Let's get a face-off from these fighters.
Let's go, guys.
All right now.
Let's go. I love this one, man. Two
This
great
fight
fighters.
will
Let's
be
go.
great. Now, all right, we're moving on. Now, we have one more fight before we get into our co-main and main event. And when I say this thing is massive, this fight is as massive as the men that are about to hit this stage. We have started this super heavyweight division in karate combat, and this is our second bout ever. And I promise you, it is here to bring the pain. Now, fighting out of the blue corner, Brigagao. Marcos is fighting out of Brazil and is weighed in at 240.8 pounds. Now, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. I think we all know him very well from his last performance last month where he got a record-breaking knockout. And this man is looking to continue his winning streak in karate combat in his pursuit for the belt. So, with further ado, fighting out of the red corner, Robelis, Despaigne. Robelis is fighting out of Cuba and is weighed in at 260 pounds. That is massive, guys. Now, I don't know how strong this karate combat pit is, but we got some big boys in there tomorrow.
This is the match.
If we need a new one, we're gonna need a new one.
Thank you, guys.
Like I said, this is the last fight before you get to the co-main and the main event, and I'm telling you, it's just as good as those two as well.
Thank you, guys. Obrigado, gracias. Obrigado.
Okay, all right, now we got into the co-main and main event. Let me preface this first fight a little bit. Now, Aline Pereira is coming off a viral left hook knockout in October, looking to come back and for another viral moment and continue her family's legacy. She has came back and she is taking on an opponent that is looking to stop that shine. Now, her opponent is no slouch as well. She took the fight on very short notice and is not afraid of her opponent. So I expect a dogfight in there. But before we bring out these two fighters, let's cut to this video to show you some story on this fight.
What does it mean to have your brother so involved in your camp?
Isso é muito importante para mim, ter ele aqui comigo. Desde o início, ele que é meu treinador e eu fico muito feliz por ele estar aqui me acompanhando.
Karate combat is a very new sport, very different than K1 or Glory. What's her impression right now of karate combat? What does she feel about the sport?
Eu sei que é diferente, mas luta é luta e eu tô indo bem preparada.
She has a lot of experience in fighting. What does she want to show her fans in this fight?
Eu quero dar um show pros meus fãs. Eu sei que muita gente se inspira em mim e eu quero mostrar pro pessoal que eles também podem, assim, sabe? Muita gente manda mensagem pra mim, Aline, eu me inspiro em você e isso me fortalece, entendeu? Isso me fortalece e eu quero mostrar pra eles, entendeu? Pros meus fãs e dar esse presente pra eles.
Oh, beautiful cross there by Pereira.
Oh, wow! Beautiful! That was that left hook. The flurry is really not necessary. Begley was down for the count.
Let's make some noise for your co-main event. Now listen, like we said, we do not disappoint here. Coming, fighting out of the blue corner, Amanda Torres. Amanda is fighting out of Brazil and has weighed in at 130 pounds. And her opponent, looking to get the glory, Aline Pereira. Aline is fighting out of Brazil and is weighed in at 130 pounds. Let's get a face-off of these fighters. Like I said, this is your co-main event of the evening, and these ladies are coming to brawl.
Your co-main event, guys. Amazing.
Make some noise for your co-main event of the evening. tomorrow evening.
Thank you guys. What do you got?
All right, now that was your co-main, but let's move on to the main event because I have to preface this one a little bit as well. Now, you have somebody who's considered an OG in karate combat, somebody who's been around since the conception, our first champion ever in this division. And he will be fighting somebody who has become a viral sensation in this division, a viral sensation in this country, somebody who's become a moniker of his country, and someone who is the interim world champion. Now, this fight against Shahzaib Rind and Edgars Skrivers will be the best matchup we could possibly see in this division at this moment. And before I bring these two out, let's check out a video about your main event.
I am the king of this place. Nobody can beat me.
I love to fight, I love to compete, and just to test myself.
In the main event, we have Shahzaib Rind versus Edgars Skrivers.
Big pickup, fireworks early on from Shahzaib Rind.
We're giving him purposely the hardest opponents we're finding right now.
It's fight business, anything can happen.
As we watch to see which storylines elevate to the top of this sport, which people become the Khabibs and McGregors, you gotta put Rind in that conversation right off the bat.
Oh my God! Well, he's landed quickly here, and this fight is over instantly.
No way! What did I say? What did I say?
The king!
Let's make some noise for your main event. Yes, yes, yes. This one will be a fight at the lightweight division, and this is a title fight. Now, fighting out of the blue corner, Edgars Skrivers. Skrivers is fighting out of Latvia and is weighed in at 149.4 pounds. Now, Edgar, quick question for you. Now, as President Awesome said, you seem to be the uncrowned king of the division and the uncrowned champion, and you feel like you have a point to prove here. What are you gonna do tomorrow night?
I think I'm still the champ, and tomorrow night, I'm gonna prove it.
I love to hear it.
Smash, just smash.
Just smash. Hey, listen, I looked at his favorite word is to smash, and that's what he plans on doing. Thank you, Edgars Skrivers. Now, his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, the interim lightweight world champion of karate combat, Shahzaib Rind. Shahzaib Rind, the pride of Pakistan, is fighting out of Pakistan and has weighed in at 150 pounds. Now, Shahzaib, you look massive. You've been getting a lot of weight on you since your beginning in karate combat. Now, is this weight something that you're looking to use as an advantage against your opponent who seems a bit smaller?
You know who's the king here? I'm the king here. I'm gonna tell everyone who's the king of this place. I'm the king of karate combat.
Well, King Kong has spoken, and this is your main event. Now let's get a face-off from these fighters right here, and let's make some noise for this interim lightweight championship matchup. This fight will top off the night.
Facing forward, guys.
And this is the best possible matchup we can make at the lightweight division at the current moment.
This is the best fighting karate combat.
The pride of Pakistan
I believe.
versus
Let's go, guys.
the
Thank you
Bear
very much.
Slayer. Now, before we wrap up this, we have one more video for you guys about our main event.
What a knockout from Shahzaib. Wow!
I am the king of this place. Nobody can beat me.
I love to fight, I love to compete, and just to test myself.
In the main event, we have Shahzaib Rind versus Edgars Skrivers.
big pickup. Fireworks early on from Shahzaib Rind.
We're giving him purposely the hardest opponents we're finding right now.
It's fight business. Anything can happen.
As we watch to see which storylines elevate to the top of this sport, which people become the Khabibs and McGregors, you gotta put Rind in that conversation right off the bat.
Oh my God!
Well, he's landed quickly here. This fight is over instantly.
No way! What did I say? What did I say?
The King!
This is an event you do not want to miss. Live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, Karate Combat 52. And we have these two men fighting out for the lightweight interim title. Make some noise for your fighters. Let's go! Thank you, everybody, and fight fans at home. We'll see you tomorrow.